Thank you very much for that. Can I ask you, is there any vegan food?
Thank you so much. Yeah, more to come.
I'll leave your hand up if you're acting on behalf of the animals. Because everybody should be, you know.
Sorry.
Okay, so first speaker on after the march, after a lovely parade with all your lovely guys. That was just a lovely walk. I wasn't quite in the sunshine, but we got there. Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Paul Hughes. I'm 88 years old, vegan for 22 years, and until January this year, I used to introduce myself by proudly saying I was on no medications and living my best life. Well, life decided to edit my script. Earlier this year, I developed a chest infection with a heart rate of 140. I ended up at A&E and discovered I had atrial flutter and a heart that apparently wasn't pumping as enthusiastically as it used to. I came home with 6 medications and strict instructions not to behave as if I was indestructible, which admittedly was inconvenient because I'm on my way to doing a million press-ups before the age of 90, up to 850,000 so far. I've got a bit to go yet, but I'll get there. I've completed 27 years, ultras over the last 5 years, walking, not running, using them to raise funds and awareness for animals through Viva. You're all aware of Viva, the animal charity, yeah. So suddenly, almost overnight, I went from walking ultramarathon distances to feeling exhausted after 300 metres, which was a bit of a shock. For a while, I genuinely didn't know whether that part of my life was over. But something interesting happened. As I slowly began recovering, I realised that although strength matters, purpose matters more. At first, my training... Sorry. At first, my training consisted of walking laps round the dining room table. Very glamorous, occasionally accompanied by dancing in the kitchen to Benny Goodman. Thank you, Linda. Which I decided was counted as cross-training. Then the laps became short walks, then 6k, then 7k, and last week I did I meant to do a 10k with my granddaughter, which turned into a 12k to accommodate the cafes. Now, I'm not telling you this because I want sympathy or applause. I'm telling you this because it reminded me of something important. We all have some strength to use, some strength left to use. Maybe not the same strength we once had, maybe not as much as we like, but usually more than we think. And every vegan, every single one of us, has some form of strength that animals desperately need. Some people have energy and can organise events, some can donate. Some of us are happy to do street outreach with WTF, Viva Outreach or Anonymous for Their Voices. Some of us are brilliant online advocates. Some quietly influence friends and family simply by living compassionately and consistently. And some people, especially older people, carry something incredibly powerful, credibility. When someone reaches their 80s and is still standing up publicly for animals, people notice. Not because we're special, but because consistency over time means something. One of the things I try and live by now is this. Every day my aim is to increase the amount of well-being in the world. This may sound idealistic, but actually it's very practical. If we can reduce suffering, increase kindness, encourage compassion, protect the vulnerable, support sanctuaries, inspire one person to change their habits, or spare even a small number of animals from misery, then we've increased the amount of well-being in the world, and surely that's worth aiming for. Animals cannot lobby governments, they cannot write articles, they cannot expose cruelty, they can't stand on platforms like this and ask the world to do better. We can. And increasingly, I believe that silence, once we know the reality of animal suffering, is a form of complicity. That doesn't mean we must all become activists in the same way. Not everybody wants to give speeches or organise protests or walk ultramarathons, but it does mean we should each ask ourselves, What can I do with the strength and talents that I possess? Because the animals need every voice. And if an 88-year-old with 6 medications and a slightly rebellious heart can still keep going, then hopefully that's encouragement to all of us, not to underestimate the difference we can make. I may be slower these days, but I'm still moving forward. And for the animals, I intend to keep moving forward for as long as I possibly can. Thank you.
Give it up for ultra marathon runner Paul Yude.